Good evening, I am William Theo, and this is PTV News Now. The Bureau of Customs for the longest time was known as a cesspool of thieves, grifters, and corrupt go-getters looking for a ride on the gravy train and has remitted way under target numbers to government's coffers. But it has since reformed its ways and taken the path of the straight and narrows, posting in a surplus collection in the first 5 months of the year with a 330.27 billion peso revenue, or 3.9% more than its target amount of 317.87 billion for the same period. The revenue collection is 7% more than for the same period last year at 308.52 billion. Customs head honcho Commissioner Bienvenido Rubio in last week's presentation reported 132 apprehensions that translated to seizures or confiscations of general merchandise or goods under its enhanced border protection program. The seizures or confiscations have netted a cool 28.02 billion thus far. In the meeting, Commissioner Rubio underscored the importance of his office's efforts in maintaining and improving financial stability and security, vowing to step up operations and programs to meet and exceed targets and expectations. As if the ICC's latest announcement to hold Israel into account for its war crimes and egregious human rights violations in its war against Hamas and the Palestinians in Gaza, Netanyahu's government gets bitch-slapped once more by 3 European nations who announced to officially recognize the besieged and badly battered enclaves of Gaza in the West Bank as one Palestinian state. Ireland, Norway, and Spain have announced to formally recognize Palestine as a state to jumpstart the solution of finding peace in the region that is predicated in Palestine gaining statehood. Norway insists that peace in the Middle East can only be achieved by way of a two-state solution, as indicated by an overwhelming vote in the UN Assembly to recognize Palestine as qualified for statehood. Spain, for its part, says it is time to put words into action. Israel, in all its soreness and sour graping, immediately recalled its envoys in the 3 countries, slamming the 3 EU nations as sympathizers and enablers of Hamas. Meanwhile, in 2020, then presidential wannabe Joe Biden won at least 35% of the votes of women between 18 to 40, to include those in the suburbs. Hence, the Trump and his allies and the GOP are scrambling to dissuade the understaffed demographic to vote Trump, whose misogynistic tendencies are well known. VOA's Scott Stearns on what both camps are working on to draw the women vote for November's polls.
Much of this presidential campaign's focus on women voters is centered on abortion laws and reproductive rights. But American women care about more than just abortion, and the campaigns are reaching out on broader issues, including the economy, healthcare, and crime. In Minnesota, voter Rebecca Jensen says President Joe Biden deserves credit for making what she says are the right decisions.
I think things about the environment are very important. I think the economy is important, and healthcare. I'm a nurse, and so I still see COVID at work frequently. And people keep saying we're post-pandemic, but we're really not. We're still in the midst of it. So I just think that that having somebody that believes in science in the White House is a good thing.
In Nevada, voter Julie Bemb wants a second term for Donald Trump.
He was good for the economy. There was no war. There was harmony. There was peace. We were all working. The gas prices were normal. I mean, he was an amazing man. He loves his country. He's a good person. He raised a good family, and we're going to get him back.
Biden is targeting women voters with a White House initiative on women's health research.
Think of all the breakthroughs we've made in medicine across the board, but women have not been the focus. Research has been taking much too long to get to y'all.
When you you say to a family that if you come, we're going to break you up, they don't come.
The Biden campaign released a Mother's Day social media ad attacking Trump's policy of separating immigrant families, telling voters to, quote, "Do the moms in your life a favor, stop Trump." Trump told a meeting of conservative Christian women that he'll bring peace to Europe.
Before I even arrive at the Oval Office, shortly after I win the presidency, I will have the horrible war between Russia and Ukraine settled.
Trump is also working to appeal to women voters with get tough messages on crime and immigration.
I think I do great with the suburban housewives because they want to remain safe. But they loot the jewelry, they take their purses, electronics, watches, all of their cash, and the people come back and they say, what happened? If you don't want illegal alien criminals crawling through your windows and ransacking your drawers, then you must vote for the fact that we have to throw crooked Joe Biden out as fast as possible, the damage he can do.
The Center for American Women in Politics says more women have voted than men in every U.S. presidential election since 1980. In their 2020 race, Pew Research data says Biden won the women's vote by 11 percentage points over Trump. Scott Stearns, VOA News.
And at this point, we turn to my colleague Eddie Carta in PTV's Pine City studios to get us up to speed on what's hot and what's not in the Cordilleras. Eddie?
Naibagarabi Pilipinas, awan ang presensya dagiti kamang dagiti communist terrorist group kada iti sigod nga insurgency affected barangay ijay Ifugao. 2014, idindeklarati Armed Forces of the Philippines tintero ang North Luzon nga insurgency-free karamanan ditoy ti Ifugao. Ken aging gayta, agtaltalinad nga insurgency-free ti probinsya sigon iti 54th Infantry Magilas Batalyon. Awan iti nepatpadamag a presensya dagiti CTG ti lugar kasi ti KLG Ampis ken KLG Ifugao. Kabinatang ti Philippine Army ti lokal na gobyerno ti Ifugao aging ga kadagiti babbarangay iti whole of nation approach kontra iti insurhensya. Narating latay iti information dissemination campaigns kada iti sigod nga insurgency affected the barangays.
The Philippine Army will always be ready to secure the land and protect the people in any means that we can and in any time that you need.
Kabayatan na a celebration of a colorful history and fusion of diverse yet rich cultures. Dito ti mensahe ti nainognaran a Baguio Chinoy Mural iti paset ti Kisad Road, Burnham, Ligarda Barangay, dito Baguio City. Hunyo ay dinapalabas sa taon, idinaplano daytoy. Kalpasan iti siya mabulan, narugyaan ti mural. Kalpasan mariti 2 bulan, 85% complete daytoy ng makitan ti pintas sa iti daytoy. May isa ka iti nagpinta daytoy ni Edmond Andrada. Sana Chinoy, sana Chinese. Ng puro Pinoy with Cordilleran heart close to the Chinese community. Isosuportado na ti Mural Project ti Filipino-Chinese community. Sigon mo't kadagiti lokal nga opisyal, dakil at tulong daytoy saan lang nga iti syudad, no diket pati ti komunidad. Dagiti artist, dagiti Chinoy, kan dagiti Chinese.
This story is, or this painting is dedicated to the Filipino-Chinese community. Our elders, without them, we won't be here now. So thank you so much. Again, this is not the final output. You would see that before the Filipino-Chinese Friendship Day on June.
Beno de kita ng itinamdamag manipo dito'y PTV Cordillera siya ni Eddie Carta na Imbag Arabi.
Thank you, Eddie, and that's all for tonight. William Theo here wishing everyone a restful night ahead.